Okay. Connect. Okay. I suppose it is working fine now. Microsoft SQL Server, which we installed on your system, is it working fine? Mansoor, can you hear me? Okay, okay, fine, fine. Okay, so let's start. Yep. Okay, so this is what we were. Yeah, I'm doing good, Mansoor. How are you? How are you doing?
Life is good, sir. No complaints.
Yeah, great. Nice to hear that.
Yeah.
Okay, great, great, great. All right, so let's come to.
When at the end of the class, sir, I want to ask you one question which is not in which is off the course.
Sure, sure, definitely. We can discuss
Yeah.
that. Not a problem.
End of the class. Yeah.
Sure,
Thank you.
definitely. Yeah. Okay.
It's just me or somebody else today.
No,
Nobody is there.
Madhu said that there would be one or two persons joining in the class. So
Okay.
they may be
Just leave
joining
me
in the
for now.
meanwhile. Okay, so we can start.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
during the session, they may join. Not a problem. Okay, so this was what about what we were discussing in the last session. Okay, we discussed some
Mhm.
of the basic queries of SQL Server. We started with it, and we did up to order by. Okay, so order by was used to order all the results which we were getting in either ascending or descending order. Okay, so let's take this concept further. I'm going to create a new query. Yeah. Okay, so let me open the tables which we have here in the databases. We have this Northwind database, and here we have tables. Okay, okay, so here we see all the tables which are there in the Northwind database. Now, let us assume that I want to insert something into a table. Okay, right now what we were doing, we just wrote select star.
Sir, there used to
Yeah.
be a table displayed at the bottom, so it's no more displaying. Why?
Where? Yeah,
A
this one.
table? Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Okay, okay.
How did that appear?
I did not run this query up till now, so I just wrote this
Okay.
query, select star from customers, and then I clicked on, uh, pressed F5 key. Okay,
Yeah.
okay. Either you can press F5 key or you can click on execute. One
Okay.
and same thing, right? So this is the table which was being shown to us, and if you see at the very bottom right of this, you see there are 91 rows. Now
Yeah.
suppose I want to insert my own row, okay, or you can say I want to add one more row into this table.
Mhm.
How do we do that? To add a row into a table, the command which you use is insert into. Okay, so this is what we write: insert into. Okay, then the table name in which we want to insert. Okay, so let us insert a row in this table only, though there are many other tables as well. We're going to insert in this table only. So we write table name. The table name is customers. Okay, after this we write values. Okay, and then we include two round brackets. Now in this bracket, we are going to enter all the values one by one. So as you can see, first there is customer ID, then there is company name, then there is contact name. Okay, so we're going to add all these values one by one. Okay, so how? Put single quotes, and then first we have to add customer ID. Okay, so to differentiate it from rest of the things, I'm going to insert something else. Okay, I'm not going to add ALFKI, so I just add A12. Okay, sorry, A12, so that we can differentiate it from rest of the members of this table. So when we run this query, we'll be able to see which row we added. Okay, then there is company name. Let us say Apple. Then there is contact name. Contact name, let us add Steve Jobs. Okay, then the next column is contact title. So we add contact title here. By just putting commas and single quotes, we keep adding these values. After contact title, there is address. We just write something ABC Avenue, and then there is city. City is, let's say, California, and then there is region. Okay, we can also keep it null since there are null values. And then there is postal code. We add something here.
Can we skip a column if you want to?
See, if you want to skip a column, there is a different process. If
Okay.
we are just okay, I'll tell you how can we skip a column. If we are directly writing insert into table values, then we have to write all the corresponding values. If you want to skip a column, I'll tell you how to skip a column. Okay,
Okay.
then there is country. I write US of A, and then there is phone numbers. Okay, so there is one last column, fax. Okay, so just in case suppose I do not write fax column, the rest of the values have been entered. We will get a message
Okay.
that the values cannot be inserted. Let's see. Okay, I'm deliberately
Okay.
leaving one column. I'm not entering the values in the last column. So to enter these values, I selected this insert into customers table. Okay, and then to run it, I press F5. Okay, so we get a message that column name or number of supplied values does not match the table definition. Okay, so it is expecting one more value at the end so that it can put all these values at corresponding places, right? So at the end we need, if we include one more column, and here we write something, and now it should work fine. I click on F5. Okay, so it says one row is affected, and at the bottom it says query executed successfully. Okay, now if I run select star from customers, okay, now you can see there are 92 rows. Earlier there was only one row. Okay, and it came at the
Yeah.
very top of this A12. This is what we added. Apple, Steve Jobs, CEO, right? This is the row which we added. Okay, this is the stuff. This is how we add our row into the table. Now let's suppose I want to skip a column. I just want to add out of these. Suppose there are 10 columns. Out of these, I want to add only 5 values. How do we do that? Okay, to add only 5 values, or any number of values, but not all the values. The way to do is we write insert into, then customers. Okay, this is table name. After this is it is same what we did earlier. Now we write the names of all the columns in which we want to add the values.
Okay.
Okay, suppose I want to skip customer ID. I directly start from customer name. Sorry, company name first. Company name, and then I want to add contact name. Then let's skip this contact title address, and then I want to add city, and then the country. I do not want to add rest of the columns. I just want to add 4 columns. Then I need to explicitly mention in which all the columns I want to specify the values. Okay, then I write values, and then we can write company name is, let's say, Microsoft. Then contact name is Bill Gates. Then there is city. City is again, let's say, California. And then there is country, USA. Okay, so now select this query and run it. Press F5. Okay, so it says cannot insert the value null into column customer ID, and column does not allow nulls. Okay, it is also giving the reasons that the
Mm.
customer ID column cannot be left blank. There are certain rules whenever the tables are created. There are certain rules which are set, okay, in which we specify that this column should not be null. Okay, how we can check that? If we see here in this customers table and we open columns, okay, you can see that in the customer ID, this is the very first column, it says not null. That means
Mm-hmm.
it does not allow null values. Okay, since we did not
Okay.
include customer ID in our query, so that is why it is giving us the error. Similarly, you can see company name also does not allow null values, but
Yeah.
this contact name, contact title, address, city, where it is written null, that means it allows null values. Okay, null, null,
Oh,
null.
without a not is allow accessible.
Yeah. Okay. Not null means it does not allow null values. Null means it allows null values. Okay, so this is the these are the properties which we define at the time of creation of the tables. Okay, we will see that when we create the tables. Okay, how do we define these rules? We'll see this at a later stage. Okay, but here just we are focusing how to verify whether a table allows null values or not. Okay, so this customer ID and company name do not allow null values. So what do we need to do? We need to include one more column here, and we write customer ID. Okay, and then we need to include one more value here. Let us say M23, right? Now it should run fine. Let us run this and click on F5. So it says one row affected, and at the bottom it says query executed successfully. Now let us run this select star from customers again. Let us see. Okay, now we have 93 rows, right? To search for where our inserted row is, we can write a new query, select star from customers. Okay, we will use the where clause again, okay, as we used it last week, where company name. Okay, we are just going to put a filter here. Company name is equal to Microsoft. This is what we inserted,
Mm-hmm.
and click on F5. Okay, so you can see this is the row which we inserted. It includes the customer ID, company name, Bill Gates. Rest of the values in where we did not specify anything, it is taking null values, null, 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 null. Okay, so it is including all those values which were specified, and rest of the values which we skipped, it is adding null values there. Okay, so this is how we insert only few values in a table. If we want to insert values in all the columns of the table, then we can skip this part. Okay, we do not need to specify in which columns we are adding the values. If we do not specify the name of the columns in which we want to specify the values, that means by default it assumes that the value will be added in all the columns. Okay, so if we just write insert into customers values, that means we have to specify all the values corresponding to the columns. If we specify the number of columns in which we are going to add values, then we have to write the values in this way. Okay, So this is how we insert values into a table. Okay. Now let us assume I want to update a existing row. Okay, so this is my existing row inside the table in which I added the value Microsoft corresponding to the Microsoft company. Suppose at a later stage there is a requirement that I want to update this existing row. I want to add contact title as well. Okay, in the initial query which I ran, I forgot to run this contact title. Now my requirement is that I want to add this contact title as well. Okay, so how do we do that? The query which we write here is, we write, for that there is one update statement which is used. Okay, so what does it say? How do we write it? We write update. Okay, though I'm writing some certain values in capital letters, like I wrote insert into or update, I'm writing in a capital case, but this is not required. You can write it in lowercase as well. SQL does not differentiate between uppercase value or lowercase value. Okay, so you can write it in any way. So if I just simply write update, that will also do the same work. Okay, but just if I write it in uppercase, so it looks good. That is why I'm writing it. Okay, update table name. Okay, so this is what we need to do. First, we need to specify which table do we need to update. Okay, so out of the various tables which are there, I want to update the table customers. Okay, so update customers. We write set. Okay, so now what I want to set? I want to set the contact title. Okay, so I write set contact title, that is equal to, let's say I want to add CEO here. All right, then there is one very important thing. We write where. Okay, we need to specify where do we want to set contact title as CEO. If I do not specify where, then it will update all the values in the table. Okay, if I simply run this query, update customers, set contact title CEO, so what will it do? It will update all the values in all the 93 rows and set them to CEO. But this is what we do not want. Okay, then we have to specify where is very important. Okay, there are some times when people do this mistake. They forget to update, they forget to write where when they just start using Microsoft SQL. Okay, so this is one of the biggest blunder people can do, so it destroys all the data in the table. Okay, so keep in mind that whenever you write the update statement, you have to specify where. Okay, so we write update customers, set contact title is equal to CEO, where, now we can say where company name is equal to Microsoft, right? But if I say city is equal to California, there can be other cities also where city is California. Okay, so we need to select a unique value where we want to update this contact title. Okay, so I should write where company name is equal to Microsoft. Okay, now you would also be wondering, why have I written this one single statement in 3 lines? Okay, I could have written it in this manner as well. Okay, of course I can write it, there is no problem in this, but generally you would see statements written in this manner. Why? First of all, it increases the readability. Okay, so if I write it in this manner, update customers, set contact title CEO, where company name is, so it differentiates. First, it means that in the first line I'm talking about table, in the second row I'm talking about row column. Okay, in which we want to do something, and again in the third column we are talking about a separate column. Okay, if we specify this in this way, then that means first line includes table, then second is column, then third is again column. So it differentiates it, or it divides the complete query into separate lines. Okay, so it increases the readability, and this is how it is written. Okay, Can is asking, can I use customer ID instead of company name? Yeah, of course, of course. Again, you can of course use customer ID. The only thing is, whatever you are using, that must be unique. Okay, so that it updates only the particular value which we are looking for. Okay, so instead of company name, I can very well write customer ID is equal to M23. Not a problem. Okay, but I should not be writing where city is equal to California and country is equal to USA. Okay, because these two values can be there for other values as well, right? So at the time of updation, we should keep in mind that everything we write that is unique. Okay, so I write it, I select this, and now I execute this. Okay, it says one row is affected and query executed successfully. Now, if I run this query again, select star from customers where company name is Microsoft. Okay, so now you see the contact title has been updated to CEO where company name was Microsoft. Okay, now suppose I want to add the postal code as well. Okay, so taking your query, okay, so instead of company name, I would be using customer ID. Suppose I write it here in this way. Okay, I say set postal code is equal to something something where customer ID, the customer ID is equal to M23. Okay, so same effect would be there. It will update the same row. I click on I click on execute. So it says one row is affected, and then okay, so you can see postal code has been updated. So it is updating the same row. The only thing is whatever where clause, whenever we are using where clause, the column name which we are using that must be unique. That is the only requirement. That's it. Okay, so this is how we add or we insert. Okay, we update an existing value into the table. Okay, first we saw how to add a new value, then we saw how to update a existing value. Now let's open this table again. Select star from customers. Okay, now we see 93 rows. Now suppose I want to delete a row. Okay, the values which I have right now in the table, I want to delete one of the rows. I do not, by mistake, I added some row. I want to delete a row. So how do we delete a row? The syntax for writing this one is, we write it in this manner. Okay, we write delete from customers. Delete from customers. Okay, now again we have to take care that we need to specify where clause. If we simply run this query delete from customers, what will it do? It will delete all the values in your table and your table will be left blank. Okay, so we need to be very careful that we have to we have to delete values very carefully. Okay, suppose I want to delete the value corresponding to the very first entry which we added. We added this A12 corresponding to Apple company. Okay, suppose I want to delete this value. So how do we do this? We write delete from customers. As you can guess, we specify a where clause. We write where company name. Okay, so Mansoor is asking, if you make a mistake, is there a way to regain the date? No, Mansoor. If you delete something, there is no way to get back those values. Okay, once deleted, that means deleted forever. Okay, so that is a big mistake which people can commit if they do not specify where clause. Okay, so you have to be very careful while using update command and delete command. Okay, do not use delete command or update command without using where clause. Okay, where clause is very necessary. Okay, we write where company name is equal to Apple. Okay, now let's run this query. Okay, just uh, pay attention. From now on we would be writing the queries in this manner. Okay, we would be writing it in multiple lines. First of all, as I told you, it increases the readability. Okay, and suppose the length of the line increases from beyond this one, as you can see in the insert statement right here. The query is quite long. Okay, it can increase from this value as well. Okay, it can go beyond this value as well. So the better way to put it is write it in multiple lines. Okay, so from now on we would be writing our queries in multiple lines. So now run this, press F5. Okay, it says one row is affected. Now if I see select star from customer, you should be seeing only 92 rows instead of 93 rows. Okay, see here it says 92 rows. That means one row has been deleted. Now if I want to see, suppose search for select star from customers where company name is equal to Apple, it will not return any row. I click on F5, I press F5. So you see it does not return anything. It says according to this there is no row which has company name as Apple because we have deleted this. Okay, so this is how we do it. Okay, so as I told you, before running delete and update command, care must be taken that we are specifying where clause. If we do not specify where clause, it will be a blunder. Okay, and you may be kicked out of the organization if you run this delete or update command without using where clause. Okay, so this is that much important, update and where clause, that use where clause every time. Okay, as I told you, if you simply write delete from customers only this much command, that means all of the table will be deleted. Okay, so just to give you how will it work. Okay, I created one table. Just let me customers backup. Okay, customers backup will not be there initially in your system. Okay, I created this one. I'll tell you how to create this one, a backup table. Okay, in this customers backup table, what I have is all the data which is there in the customers table. Okay, let me show it to you. Select star from customers, customers backup. Okay, so if I show it to you, okay, it already doesn't have. Okay, I already deleted those values. Okay, what I can do is, let me just tell you, or let me just drop this value, drop this table, drop table customers backup. Okay, we'll come to this point. What does this drop table and all this stuff means? Okay, just give me 1 minute. Customers. It says invalid object name, insert into. Okay, why? Okay, we'll come back to this. Okay, at a later stage, it is giving some error. We'll come back to this at a later point. Okay, I'll tell you how to insert values. Let me just tell you, I dropped the table, and if I refresh it, you won't be able to see customers backup table. Refresh. Okay, it is still there. Okay, that's fine. Okay, there might be some problem with this. Okay, so that was about delete table. Okay, sorry, delete command. We'll come back to this, creating a backup table and all that stuff. Okay, we'll come back to this at a later stage. Now let us continue with the rest of the commands. Okay, so if we select star from customers again. Right. So this is our original table, select star from customers. Now, suppose I want to see only the first 5 values of this table. Right now, what we are seeing here is we see 92 values being listed in this table. Okay. Suppose I want to see only the first 5 values of this table. How do we do that? To do that, the command we use is select top 5 star. Okay, we write select top 5 star from customers. Okay, so what will this query do? It will display me only the first 5 values from this table. Okay, select this one and press F5. Right, so what we see here is it is only showing me the first 5 values of this table. Right. Okay, so when in which case we may be requiring it. Okay, if you just want to check what is the general layout of a table. Okay, how does a table look like? I'm not interested in all the values. I just want to look how does a table look like, how many values are there, or in which table column null values are being allowed. So we can run this query, select top 5 star from the customers. Okay, this will give me only the first 5 values from customers table. Okay, we can use it in this in another way also. How? We can write select top. I can write 20%. Okay, 20% star from customers. Okay, so what will this do? Out of those 92 values, first 20% values will be displayed. Okay, so if we run this one, press F5. Okay, so the 20% values will be 19 rows. So this is what it is showing us. Okay, it is showing us 19 rows. So there are two ways we can see just a few of the lines of few of the rows of the table. Okay, either we use select top 5 star, okay, or top 10 star, whatever, how many values you want to see. You can put 2 star also. Okay, if we run this, select top 2 star. Okay, it will only display me the first 2 rows of this table. Okay, select top 2 stars from customers, or if I use percent also, we can use select top 5%, select top 2%, whatever. Okay, we can get only a few of the lines out of the various lines using top 2 star or top 2% command. We can use this one. Okay, of course we can if we use it in this manner, suppose if I write 10 star percent, we can use order by. Okay, right now what you see here is Germany is being displayed in Mexico. Let me just first tell you, if I run this command. Okay, now if we see, the countries are in this manner. Okay, they are randomly placed, Germany, Mexico, Mexico. Now I can use order by command with this one as well. I want to order it by country names, so I would write order by country. Okay, so what will this do? It will order my query, okay, or all the results in ascending orders. That means alphabetically, or it will arrange all the countries starting from A and then ascending towards Z. Okay, right now if you see, Germany, Mexico is being displayed. Now when I run this one, now what you see is Argentina came to first place. Okay, alphabetically they have been reordered. Okay, Argentina coming to first place, then Austria, then Belgium, Brazil. Okay, so this is how order by command we can use. Now moving on to next command. Okay, this is again a kind of filter which we are going to use. Okay, this is known as like operator. Suppose, let's run this command first again. Select star from customers. Okay, Suppose when at the time of running the query, okay, I do not remember a country or I do not remember a city. Okay, so Mansoor is asking how many commands do we need to memorize? Uh, it is, you can say, Mansoor, on some around 25 to 30. Okay, some 25 to 30 commands are there which we need to understand. Actually, understanding these commands is not difficult. What only matter is uh, we should be able to use it as and when we require it. Okay, so whatever commands we are using, actually what we are doing is we are filtering our results in different manners. Okay, the table is same, we are just depending on the scenario we are working with it. Okay, so if you, so to be, you can say, to be perfect in SQL, how many commands? Not more than 30, not more than 30. Okay, so they're very uh, basic and very, in simple English command as compared to if you see some Java or some other language. SQL is the simplest of all. Okay, in here we are writing queries, you know, in single line or in simple English. Okay, and this is the easiest thing which someone can learn to be in IT industry. If you say that if you want to learn Java or C sharp or some other programming language, they are a bit complex as compared to databases. Okay, so we have to put in a little bit effort to learn SQL. The commands are not difficult. They may look like they are very large in number, but they are not. The only thing is we are just modifying our queries. Okay, we are just modifying already existing queries. We are not moving on to complex queries. Very simple queries are there, but what we need to do is we just need to practice it. That's it. Okay, so now suppose there is a case when I'm running when I'm working in on a database, and while working I need to filter my results with city name. Okay, and I forgot the city name because it was too complex. It was like this one, Bruxelles. Even I do not know how to pronounce it correctly. Let's take this case. Okay, I have to filter my queries with this city, but I do not remember what are the spellings of this city, or I don't even know how to pronounce it correctly. Okay, this California, Portland are easy to remember, or this city also. I don't know what they've written, Baki Meto, whatever it is. Okay, I do not remember what was this name of the city. Yeah, yeah, we'll be moving to complex queries as well. Okay, when we move to uh, joins, okay, they will be like complex queries, will be coming to that. Okay, but we'll move to complexity gradually. Okay, we are not rushing towards complexity, because if we do it, it may feel like it is very difficult, so we are not moving towards that. We are just moving towards it very slowly. Okay, yeah. Okay, so what I want to do is I want to filter out all my results with city, this one, Bruxelles or Barquisimeto, whatever the name is, or how, whatever way they are pronounced correctly. But I want to filter my results this way, but I do not remember what are the spelling of this query, or what is the spelling of this city. So how can I filter it? I would write select star from customers. Okay, select star from customers. We write where city like. Okay, like operator we are going to use, and we specify in single quotes B percent. Okay, so what does this mean? B means give me all the results in which the city name is starting with B, and percent means it is a wildcard character known as a wildcard character, and means any number of characters can be there behind B. It can be a city with only three characters, or it can be city with 15 characters as well. Okay, so when we put percent, that means there can be any number of characters behind b. Okay, so what will it do? It will give me the city results of all the cities which are starting with b. So if I run this one, okay, so as I told you, in this kind of scenario where I do not remember exact name of the city, but I do remember is, I remember that the city name was starting with b. Okay, so in that kind of scenarios I would be running this query. Okay, so let's start from table name where city like b percent. Now click on execute. So what you see here is it will give me the result corresponding to all the cities which are starting with b. Okay, so you can see it is also displaying this city. Okay, I suppose this is in Venezuela. Okay, this Bakisi Meadow, and then there is this city which is in Belgium. Okay, all these cities with complex names. So in this kind of scenario I can use it. Okay, after this I can further filter my results. Okay, so this is the country, this is the city name. After this I can see, I can also put where city like this. And okay, so we learned to use and operator in the previous class. Okay, where city like this, and I can put country is equal to Venezuela. Venezuela. You run this one. So there is only one city which is there in Venezuela and which is starting from B inside our table. Okay, so we can filter out the result in this way. First, I remembered that the city was starting with B. I wrote the query, and then when I saw the results, I came to know that that country is in Venezuela. So I put one more and clause. Okay, and now I'm filtering the result. From here I can get the customer name, customer address. Okay, this is the address of the customer. So this is how we filter out the results, or we narrow down our search when we're working with databases. Okay, and this is how you're going to work. The table will be so huge that you won't remember which city is there in which country. Okay, what you will only remember is the very first alphabet with which the city name or country name is starting. First you write a very small query, then you increase the length of your query, and then you narrow down your research. Okay, and this is how you move on. Okay, now let's take this concept a little bit further. This like operator. Okay, I run this query again. Now suppose in this city column again, we are just focusing on this city again. Okay, this city column, there is London, Mexico. Okay, let's suppose this one here. Okay, suppose I'm looking for this city, Lander. Okay, but I forgot that there was a country with Lander. What I would remember is it had land in it. But I, at a later stage, I forget that there was the complete name of the city is Lander. But what I remember is it had land in it. Okay, so how can I search a query by a small word of the complete word? Okay, so what I can write is I would write select star from customers where city like, again the single quotes, and then I would put percent here. I write land and I put percent again. So what does this mean? When we write percent, it means any number of characters can be there on the left hand side of land, and there can be any number of characters on the right hand side of land. It can be zero as well, not a problem. Okay, right, starting from zero, it can be any number of characters to the left of it, and it can be right any number of characters to the right of it. That is what it means, percent land percent. So if I run this one, you would see all the cities which include land in their name will be listed. So press F5. So what we see here is it displays me Portland, Lander, Portland, and Kirkland or Kirkland, whatever it is. Okay, so it is displaying me all the cities. So as you can see in Lander, there was 0 character before land, that is also being displayed. But in Portland, there are 4 characters before land, it is also being displayed. Okay, so percent means there can be any number of characters before this and after this, and we need to specify here. If I just remove this percent character from this place, so what will it do? It will only show me the countries which are ending with land. Land is the last word, but there can be any number of characters before percent, but land should be the last word. So if I run this query, select this one, press F5. Okay, now you see lander has been removed from this search result because lander is starting with land, right? But in our query, what we mean is we want to see all the cities which are ending with land. Okay, so this is what it means. Select star from customers where city like percent land. Now suppose I do not want to see where which cities contain land. Okay, suppose I put 1% again here, and I do not want to see the cities which contain land. So what I would do, I can simply write where city not like percent land. Okay, let me just copy it, Control C and Control V, and I remove this note here from here. Okay, so that we can see what is the difference between these two. I run this one. Now you would see it, first of all, it has only 88 rows. Okay, so by just simple mathematics, you can figure out that the 4 rows corresponding to this column, this command have been removed. Okay, when we ran this command, where it was only filtering out the results corresponding to the cities which contained land in them, they were 4 in number. Okay, and we have total 92 rows. Okay, 92 rows are there. Out of this, there are 4 rows which have land associated with them. So if I run this query, select star from customers where city not like land, that means it will show me the results which do not include land in their names. So when I run this query, what you see here is only 88 rows are being shown. So out of those 92 rows in total of which are there in this column, 4 rows have been removed which contain land in them. So if you see, if you want to go through this, you can see that there would be no city in this search result which is having land in the name. Okay, so this is how we filter out the results. Okay, so it has removed this. Okay, so as we have seen percent, as and I told you this is a wildcard character. There are more wildcard characters. Okay, let us see what for other wildcard characters are there and how can we use those characters to narrow down our results. Okay, and arriving at the correct result. Okay, so as we have seen percent as one of the wildcard characters. Okay, let me write it on a notepad. Okay, percent. First of all, percent is a wildcard character. First of all, percent. Okay, it stands for any number of characters. Okay, so wherever we put it, it means that any number of characters can be there at its place. Similarly, there is one more wildcard character that is known as underscore. Okay, underscore stands for only one value. Only one character. Okay, So let us see how do we do this. Let's take this country as an example. Okay, I write the query as select star from customers where city like. Okay, I use a single character here. Okay, that means I'm using underscore and I write UGENE. Okay, so what does this underscore means? That means I am specifying that there is only one character at its place. Unlike percent, underscore stands only for one character. It stands for substitution for only one character. Now if I run this one, you see this city is being listed in this search query. So what we are getting here is, okay, we are getting it due to this one. Okay, this underscore stands for only one character. This is what it means. Okay, so it has its own applications. Uh, let us see where else we can use this one. Okay, but more often what you would be using is this percent. Okay, this is like more of a real kind of scenario where you do not remember the complete city name or country name, but what you remember is only a part of the name of the country or city. Okay, this is how generally people would remember. Okay, they do not remember the complete name. They only either remember the starting character of the country or city, that yeah, this was the city name with which it was starting. Okay, or they remember that this was the name with which it was ending, right? But still there is one more wildcard character which exists, okay, by using which we can search our results. Okay, and that is this one, this underscore that stands for single character. Okay, okay, let's discuss this concept a bit further. So as we run this one, select star from customers. All right, suppose I want to see all the cities which are starting with Berlin. Okay, suppose I'm talking about Berlin, London, and this Strasbourg, whatever it is. Okay, I want to search all the cities which are starting with B, L, or S. I don't remember the name of the cities exactly, but what still I remember is they were either starting with B or L or S. Okay, I want to see three cities. Okay, I do not remember in which city, if in which particular city my customer is residing. What I remember is either he was in Berlin, or he was in London, or he was in Spain, this Strasbourg. So how do we do this? The command which we run is we write select star from customers, right? Where city like. Now we use square brackets. Okay. So since I remember that the person whose details I want to, whose address I want to search, he belongs to either of these three cities, but I do not remember specifically in which city he lived. I just remember is one of the three cities he was there. Okay, so what I would do is I would write B, and then I would write L, okay, and then I would write S. Okay, this is what I remember, the initial characters of the cities in which I think that my customer resides. I want to see the address details of a customer about which the only thing I remember is he lived in one of these cities whose name was starting from either B or L or S. Okay, and then I put percent. Okay, so what does this mean? It means it will give me all the city results which are starting with either B or L or S, and at the end of this there is one percent sign. That means there can be any number of characters after B or L or S. If we select this query and run this, and click on press on F5. So what we see here is only the cities corresponding to which is starting with either B or L or S are being listed here. Okay, so after this I can narrow down my search. Okay, I'll see to which all cities are starting, or I can also do with cities like this, order by city. Okay, so now all the cities starting with B have been placed in one place. Okay, all the cities starting with L have been put in one place, and all the cities starting with S have been put in one place. So it has narrowed down the search result. I know from how I can search for this. Okay, after this, out of those 92 rows right now which we have in our table, now there are only 38 rows, and out of these 38 rows I can search for a person. I can search his address. Okay, uh, by using this query. Okay, so this is how we are just narrowing down our search one by one. All right. So yeah, I suppose this is the time is there for your next class as well, your QA class. Okay, so we can end this session, guys. If you have any doubt, okay, you can ask me. We can discuss this, and after that we'll wind up this session. Yeah, thank you guys. Okay, okay, so I'll send you these queries. Okay, of course you'll get a video link for this video as well. Okay, this video is being recorded. You'll get a video link for this as well, plus this query as well. Okay, just practice this one and we'll meet tomorrow. Okay, and I suppose from tomorrow there is some daylight saving being implemented in US, right? From Sunday. For you it is Friday here. Okay, in US it is Friday. All right. Okay, so tomorrow we're going to meet at same time, right?